Hey y'all, what's up? Big Willie here, and welcome back to another episode of our Exosphere Community Edition Let's Play. In today's episode, we're going to get started in mystical agriculture so we can start growing some resources. I went on some adventures. We're going to look at all the loot and everything else I got. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I made a couple extra backpacks for exploring. This one here has the, meat and potatoes of our looting, even though I don't know why I left a leather boots in there. We got a legendary weapon. This thing, I haven't even tried to use it yet. It says it makes you move slower because it's so massive. Oh my God, it's like Final Fantasy style where you're like dragging it behind you. Oh, what? Okay, that's kind of cool. We'll see if the movement speed thing bugs us. Maybe we can pick up some movement speed by using a different sword with it. We found this in a chest, the Infernal Chalice. It essentially holds, I think, an infinite amount of lava. I'm not sure how much it holds. Right now, I've got 65 buckets of lava in it. I used it to make some obsidian. Oh yeah, we're going to go to the Nether in this episode as well. But it also makes you immune to lava damage, so we can like swim in lava with this chalice. That was a great find. If my voice seems scratchy today, sorry, it's allergy season and I am fighting them hardcore. So we're going to try to make it through it. But I don't know if you remember me talking in the first episode about how looting the villages seems to be very profitable in getting into refined storage. So if we come and look from our chests that we looted, I got processor bindings. I got 1K storage parts. I got storage housings. I got all sorts of stuff. Actually, I think that might be all that we got out of this run, but we already had some other refined storage parts here. And I think we're really, really, really close to being able to set up a basic refined storage. That's why I have the storage controller on the list, which is why we need to go to the Nether. We need some Nether quartz for comparators to make the storage controller. Storage controller is going to allow us to place that one block touching our chest monster here, and then we will be able to interface that with our refined storage and access everything in all of these chests in a modern ME system. It's going to be great. Upgraded all these chests to iron chests, made those chest upgrades that I do believe we talked about in episode 1 at the very end. Still sorting things for now because we're not to the storage system yet. Let me just take a look here and see if there's anything else you need to see. We got some more matter balls, magma, some more nickel. We're going to need that for getting into thermal today. I still would like to get into thermal because I want to get into the induction smelter and the pulverizer. The pulverizer is going to allow us to get extra, or a chance to get extra loot from our ores and such. I think we can crush the raw form in here too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we can crush the raw. You get a 25% chance for an additional dust, along with a byproduct on a lot of the raw ores that we're finding. So that'll help us a little bit. But we're going to get into growing resources, and the main reason to get into thermal is the phytogenic insulator. I want to be able to get to this so that we can grow our mystical agriculture crops inside of the phytogenic insulator, and then just have an infinite amount of the crops we need. So now that we've gone over pretty much everything we found, let me get this backpack cleared out. I think the other one is already empty, and then we're going to head to the Nether. I've got a don't get distracted chest set up right here. We've got some stuff for getting started with mystical agriculture. We've got our first bits of stuff here to make Constantan, and Invar. This should be enough quantities for both of those once we get our induction smelter made to get the seeds for both Constantan and Invar. But we really need to get to this phytogenic insulator so that we can get our mystical agriculture inferium going, so that we've got the inferium for making all of the other seeds. So let me put things up and we'll get right into that. Okay, Al, I may have gotten distracted and went that way and explored and found a big tower and got myself my first waystone. So Big Wooly started race. There it is. Waystone so I can get here. I don't have a warp stone to get back. I do think, though, I did get an ender pearl, and that may be enough. Nope, we need one more. So to make our warp stone, I believe we need 4. Yep, so we need one more ender pearl. One more ender pearl, and we can make a warp stone to carry with us, and then we can warp back to our base, and we don't have to use the somewhat cheaty feeling /home to get back home. I don't have a problem with using /home to get home unless you're using it in like the escape mechanism kind of way, like, oh god, I'm about to die, so let me /home. That's kind of cheaty, but, you know, it's a mechanic that's in the pack, so I say use them. You know, if they're mechanics that are there, I feel like they're intended behavior. All right, mystical agriculture. So here we go. This is what you're going to need to get started with making your first seeds. Really, your first seeds need to be inferium seeds. And those are simply wheat surrounded by inferium. So far, our only method of getting inferium is from killing passive mobs, and it can occasionally drop from them. These seeds right here, we're just going to grow and harvest over and over, and they are going to make our we're going to be able to upgrade them to higher tiers that we need. And I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the soil here by right-clicking it with the inferium, and that gives us just I do believe a slightly higher growth rate, and it gives it a chance for a secondary output. So that gets us 5 inferium. We could make like a whole row, but let's save some just so that we can hopefully make some seeds. Now, we're going to need 8 of the pedestals. So let's shift click those in because we should have the materials for 9, but we're only going to make 8. And then we need to make the infusion altar. And the keen among you may have noticed that there was a redstone block in here. And that is because the altar requires a redstone signal in order to activate. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that right underneath where we put the altar. Then we don't have to tell it to make the seed every time we put stuff in. It's just always ready to go. Once you place down your altar, you'll notice that it shows you where to put your pedestals. Just place them where the shadows are. The reason we're not seeing all of them is because there were seeds and stuff growing where the rest go. So this is the basis of our mystical agriculture start. And now let's take a look at some of the seeds that I had said I wanted to make. Some of the basics that we really ought to get into pretty early. Iron, for example, is tertium, which is 2 tiers of upgrade, which means we need to make the infusion crystal. The infusion crystal is going to take some prosperity shards, which we should have some because we've been looting them. We actually, I think, have prosperity. I made some prosperity blocks on accident, maybe, or maybe that was in a test play. Not real sure. We're going to need a diamond. And then what else was it? Just some inferium. So let's go ahead and craft up one of these. Now, the original, this tier has a limited number of uses, but what this allows us to do is take this base tier, which we get here, and now we can craft up to the next tier. But each tier is going to take 4, essence to make one of the next tier, and so on and so forth. So we really don't have enough to get into anything that requires tertium, like iron. So we can really only do a tier 2 and some tier 1s. So let's see what we've got in our pinned list that are tier 1 and tier 2. Coal is going to be a good one to get, and dirt might be good, or should we do, well, we only have enough for 1. Well, we have enough for 2 tier 2s. So since we're going to be getting into refined storage, why don't we go ahead and get silicone and coal going? So these seeds are going to take 4 coal, and silicone is going to take 4 silicone. So let's get out those materials. So 4 silicone, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 coal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we can get these growing just in regular farmland over there. They will grow better on tier 2, but I do not believe they require the tier 2 farmland to grow. But to make your seeds, just take your ingredients. So your 4 coal, your 4 prudentium, and then I forgot the part in the middle we need the prosperity seed base. So that is just a wheat seed with 4 prosperity shards. Let's go make those. You should have plenty of wheat seeds. Hopefully you've started growing some for a food source by now. Let's see, where are our wheat seeds? Yeah, we've got like over a stack. Did I get them? Yeah, there we go. So prosperity seed base is just a wheat seed and the 4 prosperity shard pieces. And then we're going to need 2 of these, 1 for each of the seeds we want to make. Your ingredients can go on the pedestals however you want. Pattern does not matter. So there's our coal. And when we look at the middle, this one doesn't have it. Some of the packs will tell you, now that we've put it in there, it tells you what it's making. Some packs will tell you before you put it in there what it's going to make. Other packs, you got to like put the materials in. So there is a coal seed. Then let's go ahead and make our silicone seed while we're at it. And then we're going to need to wait on some more Inferium Essence to come in from our crops we just planted. Probably ought to get a little bit more of those going with our remaining Inferium, even though we really can only make 1 more Inferium seed with the Inferium we currently have. Let's see, do we have 4 more? Okay, yeah, so we can get 2. No, we can get quite literally 1 more Inferium seed going here. Let's go do some planting then. So we're going to toss down 1 more Inferium, and then we're going to put down our coal and our diamond. And those are going to grow pretty slow because they're tier 2 crops on basic farmland, so we haven't gotten any upgrades there. I don't think we have like twerking in the pack. Nope. So we can't make them grow any faster that way. There's probably tick acceleration in here. I want to say we got some... I might be confusing packs. I want to say we had gotten some red fertilizer in here, but I think that I'm mixing up the pack we're playing on stream with this one. So let's see. Do we have red fert? We have fertile essence from reliquary. Do we have fertilizer? No. So we don't have fertilizer in the sense to make better farmland. Let's see. Farm. It really looks like, yeah, it looks like it's just going to be our stuff from mystical agriculture, most likely for farmlands to step up our growth. But that gets our crops going for mystical agriculture. I will try to just let you guys know as I add seeds, as I've done in previous series. I'm not going to walk you through every single seed I make, but if you see me like magically have a bunch of resource, it's probably because I made a seed and I've got them growing. Now, having to wait on these to grow is slow and painful. So we want to get to a better system as soon as we can for growing our own resources. And that is where this next little bit comes in. We want to get to the induction smelter, which means we need to get to Invar. We have a couple ways that we can make Invar. We can make it in the... Really, we can only make it by crafting it with a fire charge, which means we need blaze powder or fire charges by themselves. Have we gotten any in chests? Let's see. Miscellaneous, no. Valuables, not seeing them. Not seeing them there. So it looks like we do not have access to any fire charge yet, but that is why I want to get to the Nether today. So in order to get to our Invar, we're going to have to take a trip. And that trip involves going to a really, really hot place. Now, I think it's this pack where they are saying they are limiting your time in the Nether since it is not a void world in there. So I think we may... oops, we are 2 obsidian short. No problem. Let's grab our chalice. Just right here. Place down some lava. I think I just burnt up my my dirt for that hole, but that's okay. And then we're going to run some water over this. Cool. And vein mine up these 2 obsidian. And then we need to fix that torch because I had our entire base area spawn proofed. And the last thing we want is to start dying just because I water bucketed and took out a torch. So let's F7. Yep, we sure are. And then we're going to put a torch. What was it right there? That get us spawn proofed? Looks like it. Sweet. So now 2 more obsidian. Here we go. Let's pop on into the nether. I'm going to go ahead and just toss everything into this backpack. I kind of wanted to have, you know, like both backpacks empty, but, you know, can't always get what you want. As what is that? Big Lips Mick Jagger once said. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. And here we are in the nether. Nether gonna give you up. Did you see that? That's hilarious. I guess that's the achievement for Nether gonna give you up. We just got rickrolled. It's okay. Amulet of slow falling. Ooh. Holding a feather grants slow falling. Interesting. I kind of like that. And they give you a feather. Nice. All right, let's make a waypoint right here. We'll call it portal home. Even though if we get too lost, we can always slash home. Now, I want to say one of these packs talks about limiting our time. Do I see a timer here? I don't. Okay. Well, let's take a look around and familiarize ourselves. I see one thing we want right away. There's some glowstone. We want to get into that for sure. What is that? Oh, it's a basalts. Or yeah, that whatever those things are from thermal. Dude, all the thermal mobs are really, really overpowered. Hey, we're supposed to be immune to lava with our thing. Why is my chalice not preventing lava damage? Either way, we got him taken out. Wow, that was close. Okay, let's make our way over here. Ooh, nether quartz comes in those dense veins. That's nice. I hear another one of them things. Didn't we get something that gives us night vision? Amulet of night vision. We lost our boots, it seems. Oh, hey, I like that. Night vision, we can see. Nether quartz, that's one of the main reasons we're here. So let's mine that up. Oh, don't fall in that hole. That could go down very far. And we want to grab some of this glowstone too. There's that guy. I knew we heard him. Okay. We got a good bit of glowstone. We got half a stack of nether quartz. That should be enough to make our seed, hopefully. That better. Is that a bastion? Oh my goodness. I am gonna attack this guy because he has a backpack. Drop your backpack. Oh, come on. Man, it would have been nice if he dropped that backpack, but if we put the gold leggings on, they'll all leave us alone. Ooh, we need this. Solium. This is the stuff we need for mystical agriculture. And now we're not taking lava damage. So a second ago, it must have been from the basalts or whatever his name is. that was damaging us. So we're going to gather up a good bit, as much as we can, of this solium stuff, because we are going to need it moving forward in mystical agriculture, especially for our seeds that are for mobs. Namely Enderman. We're going to have to kill a ton of Enderman, though. To get our Enderman seed, we need 16 times 4. We need a full 64 Ender Pearls in order to make our Enderman seed. But our Enderman seed is essentially endless Ender Pearls. Well worth the grind. We're just going to have to find the right biome. Looks like we may have one of the correct biome right over there. I'm going to grab as much nether quartz as I can for now, because we don't have the seed going yet. And then let's go check out this structure and see what it is right here. So there's like a little crimson house of some kind. And a campfire, a bunch of gold. Is he going to get mad if I take it? Can I take your gold? Oh, they don't care. Yes, please. Oh no, he's mad. All right, well, can we grappling hook in the nether? Oh, that's a piglin brute. Haha, you're stuck over there, buddy. Sucks to suck. You may see other player notices on the server. Once again, I do play on a server. If you have any interest in kind of joining us or potentially coming to play the pack with us, feel free to pop over into my Discord and get to know us, and we can see about getting you in here so you can play with us. I'm going to make my way over there, so hopefully we can find some more Endermen for some more Ender Pearls. Oh my god. There it is, right there. Another fortress. So give me a few minutes to see if I can find some Endermen, and we'll meet back at the Nether Fortress. All right, well, I made it over here. The Nether Fortress is right over there on the other side of these trees. But check out this geode. It says it's from Tinker's Construct. So let's get up here and see. Oh my goodness. It's got some kind of budding crystal in here, so we definitely don't want to break any of that. But any of the non-budding, let's just vein mine that. Wow, these are cool. I don't know what it's used for. Let's see. Ichor's crystal uses. Ichor's staff from Tinker's Construct. Blazing blood. Oh my gosh, blazing blood I think we can use to, I want to say it's like you use it to melt, yes, blazes. So we got to use blazing blood to get it hot enough to, oh well, we can melt a blaze and get blazing blood. So it can be used as a fuel source in our furnace for Tinkers. We can use blazing blood to make blaze rods. What? And we can get blazing blood. What are our sources? Entity melting, foundry, blazing blood, Ichor's crystals gives the crystals. The blocks melt down into blazing blood and Ichor, which are 2 slime balls and 400 millibuckets of blazing blood. So these are like blaze rods. So we could, once we get some silk touch, we can come back and get some of these and bring them back to base, because I'm sure they just disappear if we break them. Yeah, we can get some of these and bring them back to base, and we've got infinite blaze rods right there. Is that the way I understand that? Whoa. Okay, that's really cool. I found 2 Endermen so far. Oh, listen to the footsteps, by the way. They go away if you take the sword out of your hand. Kind of crazy. But I found 2 Endermen so far, and they have not given me an Ender Pearl. Not a single one. And we need like a full stack. So I think we need to get some looting on that sword and a couple of other enchants, and then we'll come back and do some cruising around of this biome. But luckily it's right by our spawn. We can kind of just grappling hook our way over here and get back to it. Let's go check out the fortress, even though I guess essentially we've already got the blaze rods we need, so the fortress is kind of a moot point, but we're here, so we may as well check it out. There we go. We got a blaze rod anyways, so now we have ways to get blaze rods multiple ways. We can make a mold and melt down this stuff with tinkers, and we have our own blaze rods right there. So what was the last piece? So blaze powder was what we needed, gunpowder, which I think we have some of. So I think we would have everything we need now for getting into thermal. I'm gonna look around here real quick. We're just gonna run around and see if I find anything. If I find anything real cool, I'll bring you guys back. If not, I'll meet you back at the base. Here's one of those creepers. All right, so he couldn't convert this top layer, I guess, because it's nylon, but let's see what's underneath. We're gonna, look at that. Look at all that gold. So if you see those creepers, don't run away. Just make sure you're near stone for them to convert, and they will give you a ton of whatever the drop is that, you know, they make. Whatever their coloring is. See, that one looked like gold, so we got a bunch of gold. First ender pearl. I don't even know how many of them I have killed, but that was our first ender pearl from it. Okay, we are really close on time. Let's see if we can cram this in. So, oh, hey, this is royal zombies. Oof. Yeah, they broke most of our gear in the nether there. Oh, our cool prismarine spiky stuff's gone. Oh, well. Wow, another one of them. We're gonna have to look into making some armor. It must be a blood moon. Did I miss that in the text? Either that or we had a blood moon. What is that? Chosen victim. Interesting. Wow, these zombies are coming from a long way away, bud. You came over here to die? Sweet. Oh, this slow speed is gonna suck with the little guy. All right, we got him. Any more? Our debuff is gone, but they are still coming. All right, let's go skip the rest of this night if we can, and then let's see about getting to our induction smelter. All right, so our induction smelter. We needed to make some Invar the hard way. We need a fire charge, which is blaze, gunpowder, and coal. Do we have gunpowder? We do. And we know we have blaze powder, and do we have coal? We do. Okay. So, if we come in here and we are gonna get out some of our blaze rods that we just got. By the way, we got a bunch of cool stuff from that nether fortress. Blaze, fire charge, blaze powder. Let's make a couple. Oh, the one ender pearl lets us make a warp stone, so we can use our waystone to get back home and not feel cheaty, which will be great. Now we just need some nickel, and we've got iron, it looks like. So nickel, nickel, nickel. There's some nickel ore. Do we not have nickel? Oh, we have nickel in the chest out here. We actually have everything we need for making our Invar except the fire charge. So there's our Invar. We just need to make the fire charge. Let's go ahead and make Invar. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 sets. So that gets us 9 Invar, which we need 2 Invar gears. So we're going to need some nuggets, some iron nuggets. I think we have some iron we looted, right? Okay. So turn that into some nuggets. And here are our 2 Invar gears. Okay, the next things we needed to make our induction smelter is some gold and redstone. We got gold for sure. Let's put some of this stuff in the backpack if it'll take it. Whatever it'll take. Gold, redstone. All right, machine frame is next. We need a tin gear. I think we smelted up some tin. We did. Gear. And the machine frame goes in the middle. We need some glass. Do we have any more iron ready to go? If not, let's toss it in there. It does it 3 at a time. By the way, your alloy smelter will smelt the raw stuff 3 at a time instead of just 1 at a time, much faster than a blast furnace. As a matter of fact, we don't really need the blast furnace anymore because that is faster, and we need a blast furnace for our induction smelter. So I think with that, we just need to craft up the machine frame, and we need to grab some sand. And that is going to allow us to make an induction smelter. What the induction smelter means is we don't have to make the blast charges anymore to make our mixed materials. We're going to stick it in front of the window just because we haven't made cabling yet, but that's going to allow us to draw power from right here. And if we turn you into a block, you burn longer. And we're going to put you into the Stirling generator to keep our power gen going. But now our induction smelter is up and running. We can make more Invar easily rather than having to make it. We can also make Constantan. Constantan is one of the ones we're going to need to get into our phytogenic insulator, I believe, because of lumium, right? I don't know. Silver 10, glowstone. No, we needed glowstone for that, which was another reason we had to go to the Nether. I think we made pretty good progress today. I want to come look at the thing. I don't have a clipboard to keep up with. So yeah, we did not quite make it through everything that we had in our list, but we can knock one more off by combining nickel and copper to make Constantan, and that will be enough to make a seed for that. We're going to need to make our Invar seed, so we'll have to make one more round of Invar, which was, what was that? Iron and nickel. So I can go grab this other nickel out here. And we can toss this into here with some iron. And that will smelt into Invar for us. I do believe it gives us 2 per craft. And so a couple of these crafts, and we will have enough to craft up these seeds, but we're going to have to wait on our Inferium to grow. Actually, we don't need you to use any more of that. That is enough for the seed. So those are 2 seeds I'm going to get going in between this episode and the next episode. This is kind of how I'll do it. If I think of it ahead of time, I'll let you know. I will kind of pin seeds. You may see them over here as we get into it. But in the next episode, let's look forward to phytogenic insulators getting done from thermal, which is going to allow us to use energy and water to grow our crops. And then we're just a couple pieces away from our storage system, which I think would be a great thing to get to in the next episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. It was awesome. We broke a bunch of gear, but we accomplished all sorts. We got started in mystical agriculture. We took a trip to the Nether, narrowly survived. Like, we almost died right there at the beginning. You saw it. I'll probably leave that in there. But this pack, I'm loving it. Absolutely love it. It's awesome. The gameplay's great. Just enough mods to tickle that side of what I'm interested in Minecraft. And so far, plenty to do. So, hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, hit the like button. If you're not already, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Don't forget to go check out the pack. Check out their website, which I hopefully will add to the link in the description. And we'll see y'all next time.